Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope everybody had a great Christmas that we celebrate. I had a great day myself. So I did a little Christmas reading. I did it yesterday, the day after Christmas, but I didn't get a chance to record it. I did a pre-shuffle, so I'm just going to kind of dive in a little deeper today with you guys. I do have some more readings lined up. I have all of my zodiacs done. Pre-shuffles just a bit, and I'm going to go over it with you guys like this. But again, I'm going to do one video for fire signs, one video for earth signs, etc. I'm planning on getting those done today. And I have another one I'm working on. So I'll have a few videos posted within the next, today and tomorrow. And my goal for 2026 is going to be to really buckle down and maybe even make a schedule for this. I need to get routine if I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff, So, what I got for this pre-shuffle here is I like to do it, I've done this in the past, I like to do it the day after Christmas, because everybody's getting together with family, and energies are going to change dramatically that maybe you didn't see coming, or no one saw coming. Just choices will be made under the influence or under the influence of emotions, so I kind of like to dip in afterwards. We'll let the seasoned readers take the heavy hitters, right? I'll come clean it up. So what I see is that you are fresh off an ending or loss, an ending feeling of loss of some sort. And it's something that you spent a lot of time and effort, you put into. And I think you're kind of in your head about your next steps, which is normal, planning, what are we doing? And it looks like, not only is your spirit team advising you to take the time to slow down and care for yourself first before you, jump back into action, they might be forcing you. Some of you might be feeling exhausted, to the point where you can't do anything. Lack of focus or motivation or actual sickness. You need to recover, and more importantly, I think, learn the lesson that's to be had from whatever it is you just went through, so you don't repeat the pattern. Honestly, this is what kind of feels like they want you, instead of just being like, okay, let's go, they're like, no, let's think about this. What happened? What led to this, ending, whatever, even if it was good for you. Everything has a lesson. There's no failures, only lessons. Ultimately, you are going to have to, you're going to have decisions to make going forward about your future and how to secure your stability. I do see one offer in particular that will come in fast, and it almost seems too good to be true. As I was just starting to read that, the devil came out, so just a little tidbit. So use your intellect when deciding. All I can say is just stay sharp and collect all of the info you can before you make a final decision. And while doing so, you may get or discover some info that is going to make you take a step back and kind of assess everything. You may feel like you don't know who you can trust or believe, or that you can trust anybody who's around you. The more opinions that come in, the more it's going to confuse you. The answer is inside you and only you. Only you truly know what is best for, what's best and what feels right for you. When you do decide to face the decision, the best way you can do it is from the most practical sense. And I think you can get that, grounded responsibly and thinking about the future. I don't know if you're taking that first opportunity that I mentioned after evaluating it, or if something else comes in, but you do choose something, and it's going to take you having faith that no matter what you choose, you're heading into a new beginning. It's a new adventure. Give yourself time. Allow the seeds that you're planting to fully bloom, before you complain about the harvest. No matter what you choose, it's time to choose something. So don't, when you really start this new thing, don't rush it. Don't get, a weekend and be like, it sucks. I think they're saying, just give it time. Sometimes when we're further along in life and we think, we forget sometimes we have to be the apprentice again, or, we're new at something again. We can't just, excel as fast as we think we should. There was a time that it took time. You didn't get a dollar raise every time you got a raise. You got 25 cents. And there were things you had to do to get that. I think things are going to be a lot different once AI really starts imposing on our jobs, because it will. And we're going to see what jobs are deemed valuable and what are not. And it's going to be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so what I want to do, Spirit, if you don't mind, is just take a look in and see, I don't think we need to go back to what you're coming off of, because it seems like that's over with. Tell me the vibe of how collective is right now, feeling about moving forward. What's it looking like today? What do you need to know about the energy around making plans and getting ready for this new life? What do they need to know? I don't know if these are people that are going to be significant. That would be a water and an earth sign. If so, someone motherly. King of water controls your emotions. Queen of Earth is going to be grounded, business-minded, yeah. The Nine of Air You're still having a little anxiety. I don't know if any opportunities have come up yet, or too soon. Let's see what else comes up. To put that into some context. So, I probably shouldn't use these big cards. Depending on what you're moving forward from, you could be having a little anxiety about carrying the weight by yourself. If it was a relationship, Two of Swords. Yeah, still trying to make that decision. Ten of Cups. That's what I think it is. I think you're trying to figure out what's the best course of action to have your most desired outcome, but you want to do it probably the quickest way possible. I think that's what you're thinking, and I think that's why they're telling you to slow down. There's things you don't see that need to work themselves out around you that may have nothing to do with you. That may be why you're being paused. So, they're saying take this time to really find the answers within yourself. And kind of build that relationship with you, I feel like maybe something's coming that you're gonna need to be very, kind of, I keep saying grounded, but for lack of a better word, that's what it's coming through as. Like, something, you need to be bracing yourself for something, I think. Because remember, it said, you know, there's an offer coming in, but then there's going to be, as you're getting info on this person or this thing or this whatever, you're going to find something out that's going to make you take a step back, and I think that's what this is getting you ready for. There's something you don't know yet. So they're kind of like making you stalled, so you see it before you get to the finish line, right? Does that make sense? Yep. It's like little pitfalls that put in to like kind of catch you up. I feel like this anxiety, I think it's your intuition is being stirred up. Anything else with this deck that you want to mention about something that's coming? Six of Pentacles. You know, so if you listen and you take your time, I'm feeling like keep balance, keep your masculine, your feminine balanced, your emotions in check, your feet in the ground. You know, you're gonna get to a place where you can be like, okay, like confident in the decision you made. You know, I think you'll be comfortable. You'll have enough to share. And I think it's going to be very clear what opportunity you should take or not. I think this is standing out to me. Like, it's going to be like obvious that a certain opportunity is going to bring you into the like comfort, like contentment with at least your financial and living situation. And once that's settled, that's a huge stress off of your head, right? So you can kind of like figure out who you are and what you want to be. Once you're taking care of your necessities, it's easier to go after your dreams, right? So I think this is what you're doing. I think you're getting ready to take on whatever it is you have to take on, move forward. Maybe it's a breakup, maybe you're on your own. I think you're finding, you know, your balance. You gotta do both roles. Maybe you have a kid, and you are feeling a little anxious about it, but you're right to kind of figure out the best course of action, yes. Because taking your time and doing that, you will find your desired outcome. Don't rush it. If there's a hiccup, there's a hiccup. It's there for a reason. Someone's karma, justice, you know, something you can't mess with is in play. You can't touch it. So just make sure you're solid, right? Make sure you're on the up and up. And let it come out. And in time, you will know what the right choice is. Whether this is a job opportunity, a relationship, whatever choice it is you have to make, because it's kind of vague, which is fine because it should be. um, yeah. And bottom of this deck is Nine of Pentacles, which is great. So that's you learning your lessons, gaining your independence, self-made, wealth and abundance, and that makes sense, following everything. This is how you get there, is being cautious, being aware, taking your time. Don't rush it. Learn. As I burn the house down. Alright, let's get any final messages or pieces of advice for our little Christmas message. What's kind of on your mind in this Void Week, I call it. So this is what you're kind of thinking of, like, alright, what are we doing in 2026? Some people got engaged last week. Some people are getting ready to move. Some people are getting married, divorced, like all these big life changes, I feel like, are happening for people, kids, babies, grandkids. This is going to be a big year. I feel like this is going to be a year, like, if you haven't decided who you are and what's your path, you're going to have a crash course. And I feel it, like, the falseness is being torn away. The authenticity is starting to be what is the worth, what's worth the wait. Money is starting to, it's a joke. What do you have? What makes you have worth? Your authenticity. What makes you have authenticity? Knowing exactly who you are. Any last pieces of advice for decisions that are coming up? What they should watch for? Anything like that. Let's see. I think this is telling you a couple things. I think it's telling you pay attention to what's going on around you. Stop looking into the past because you might miss what's coming for you in the future. Because you do have some truth and clarity and knowledge coming in. That's going to help you find balance, yes. Also possibly like purpose, You know, like, okay, that's what this is for. This is what I'm doing. Like, it's a solid thing. Yeah. So stop, whatever you walked away from, it's gonna come up. You're gonna think about it, obviously, if it was a loss. Remember, you're a queen, male or female. Queen of Wands, she's a queen of fire. She's a queen of action. So you're going to want to take action, but you're in that weird, like, I want to take action and do these things and be a leader and stand in my power. But let me just reminisce a little bit, especially in this time of year, for sure. Especially if it was fresh. You're like, we should be together right now, or I should be doing this. Any type of loss. We kind of think about it on holidays. But again, by focusing on what was me, or, you know, what you think you should have, you might miss at least one opportunity come in. You don't want to do that. Again, stay sharp was in the message to begin with. And watch for this opportunity come in. You know, for you to take what you know and put it to use in a practical way. Anything else? Yeah. Stay on the path. Stay in your purpose. Stay listening to your intuition. Take the opportunities that come along. Be a good person. Like, stay in your purpose. And you'll get these little rewards as they're like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Worry about yourself. Stay in line. Here you go. You know, it's kind of how it is. I can't explain that unless you go through it. And then we're back to the Queen of Pentacles. Which is Queen of Earth. So how you maintain that grounded Queen of Earth is just what we said. Don't dwell on the past. Pay attention to the opportunities and know when to take them. That's part of your lesson too. Did you learn that from your past mistakes? I think one of the lessons which comes up a lot is learning you are your priority. Don't worry about making people feel bad. No one's worried about making you feel bad. You are your priority. Once you learn that, a lot of things are going to come easier to you because you're doing what you're supposed to do. Your job here is to take care of yourself. And everybody benefits from it. And everyone's like, well, what about my kids? My kids come first. Well, yes, to a degree. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your kids either. Trust me. You can look like you are. But you're going to find out later what you did to fuck them up. I promise. Alright, let's get an oracle. I feel like it's going to fall over. Let it go. Alright. Let's get an oracle for our collective in this festive holiday season. I had a lot of things done over the past couple of days, which is great. So I don't feel bad, like, kind of decorate my room, because everything else is done. Like a responsible adult. Alright, Spirit, give me one oracle for my collective to put a little spice on this reading. I'm always interested in the grammar on these cards because it can be a little off. The moon. The moon is bright when it doesn't avoid the night. Hang in there. Be patient. You are on the right track. That's perfect, right? You're not going to be able to see it because it's too dark. There we go. That's like super perfect for this reading, right? The moon is bright when it doesn't avoid the night. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You know, when hang in there, be patient, and you're on the right track. That's the biggest thing. Be patient. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'm going to work on those other videos and get those out. I hope everybody's enjoying this time of year. I'm really enjoying a few days off. Definitely makes it harder to go back afterwards, but I have technically 2 days left, so I'm going to make the most of it and do nothing. Alright, like and subscribe if you're feeling my vibe, and I will talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.